What does it mean when Elizabeth May, the leader of the Green Party of Canada, supports a two-child policy? In a recent interview, May admitted that she signed a population control resolution calling for financial sanctions against families who have more than 2 children. Financial sanctions against families with more than 2 children. The resolution says, and I quote, "Whereas the reduction of carbon emissions, protection of Canada's biodiversity, and the preservation of 18% of the world's fresh water and massive forest are integral to sustainable prosperity and our quality of life and humanity, be it resolved that current and future quotas and targets be set by citizenship and immigration in a non-discriminatory manner, but also take into account the impact on Canada's environment and quality of life for Canadians that arises from the increase in population caused by both immigration and natural increase within Canada. That all tax credits and government payments be structured so as not to provide additional funding to families with more than 2 children." To be sure, in the interview, May tries to backpedal, but says she signed it because, quote, "the Green Party is the only federal party that has a policy on global population." What is a policy on global population? See, May's bought into this myth that the world is overpopulated, that there aren't enough resources to sustain its growing population, and we're all going to die. It's an ideology propagated by the likes of Maurice Strong, the Canadian environmental radical, who once mused about licenses to have children. Watch this.
I can say that if we continue on our present trends, on our present course, it's very likely that in many parts of the world this will be the case. In fact, we have begun to see it in many areas. Now, licenses to have babies, something that I got in trouble for some years ago for suggesting, even in Canada, that this might be necessary at some point, or at least some restriction on the right to have a child.
See, it's Strong's spirit that's animated the UN, including UN climate chief Christina Figueres, who seemingly endorsed population control in an interview from 2013, where she said we need to make every effort to reduce the world's population in order to fight global warming. But this is worse than stupidity. This is the product of an ideology that measures human existence by puffs of CO2, like Rick Mercer's 1-ton challenge. Is that what we are now? Units of carbon? Units to be measured, tabulated, and manipulated? The truth is that there is a deep green ideology that regards human life as a cancer on the planet. And this truth raises the value of inanimate objects above human life. Look at these eco-radicals crying because trees are being cut down.
Of all the old growth trees I've seen, and tell them that we love them and that we don't want them to die, that there are some people here who do care.
We live in a world of horrors, terrorism, poverty, crime, and these folks are crying over a tree? It's such a bizarre world. Rather than celebrating the fact that through human innovation, technology, freedom, people are living longer and poverty rates are declining, people like May choose to reduce humans to emitters. It's a reductionist, dehumanizing view of people, and implicitly also an extension of the culture of death. Yet in the height of arrogance, May and company genuinely seem to believe that they're moral guardians, that somehow, by lecturing others about the right to life, they are serving a deeper moral interest. It's at once foul and absurd. For TheRebel.Media, I'm Marissa Semkiw.